Hey there. This is going to be a bit of a shorter episode, but I wanted to talk about this concept because I think it's important. And the question really is just going to be, what are you committed to? And so, in the 3 day intensive that I ran last week, I sat and did this with everyone when we were live. And we just kind of sat with this word of commitment. And we really dove into the idea of like, okay, like you can be committed to one or two things when it comes to OCD and anxiety recovery. You can be committed to recovery, or you can be committed to developing and continuing OCD and anxiety, because OCD and anxiety consist in a loop. And in order for that loop to exist, you have to have the thoughts, the feelings, and the behaviors that you're engaging in. And so if you wake up, for instance, and you're instantly checking for thoughts to see if they're there, or you're instantly scanning to see how you feel, that's a commitment to that loop, because you're engaging in a behavior that's going to, again, keep the loop spinning. And whereas if you're committed to recovery, it involves doing things that you don't normally do and that are going to cause feelings to stir up that you don't like feeling, and cause thoughts to pop up that you don't really like experiencing. But what commitment to recovery really looks like is every day when you wake up and throughout the day and before you go to sleep, you're committed to the result of recovery. And the result of recovery happens by you not engaging in behaviors, and by you learning how to become non-resistant to thought and feelings. And those are practices that need to be cultivated, that need to be mastered, that need to be built over time. And your commitment to mastering those skill sets is what commitment to recovery is. You see, like I was saying on the intensive, recovery is not some futuristic place you reach where you just have no thoughts, no feelings, and you just live in this enlightenment state of bliss. Now, will you achieve enlightenment in this lifetime? I don't know. If for those of you that want that, I hope you do. I mean, that's not ever really been an objective on my on my path. But what you begin to understand is your practice, as you continue a practice, it ultimately creates present moment experiences. So if you wanted to lose a bunch of weight, let's say, and your commitment was, I'm going to do these things, whether that's eat a certain meal plan and work out and, take care of the stress and inflammation in your body, and you develop this practice, the weight loss would be a result of that practice on a moment by moment occurrence, and would just get better and better over time if you had a commitment to that practice. The same thing with OCD and anxiety. If you're committed to the idea of having no thoughts and feelings, what you're going to do is behaviors that are paradoxically going to keep you stuck. And if you're committed to recovery, what you have to be committed to is breaking the loop. And the way that happens is by not engaging in behaviors, mental or physical, that are keeping the loop going. Now, if you don't know what those behaviors are, if you don't know a lot about mental safety behaviors, I would encourage you to check out my book, From Stuck to Unstuck. In fact, in chapter 5, my whole chapter is just on all the different mental behaviors that people engage in, right? But you really have to get honest with yourself here, because a lot of times we're working really hard, but we're working really hard trying to solve the wrong problem. And by that, we are committing to staying in the loop. Because if we're doing things that are keeping us in the loop, that's where our commitment is. And we have to get honest with ourselves. Most people have this assumption that they would never do something like that, but yet their result is that they're in the loop and they're staying in the loop. And so whatever your result is, realize that's where your commitment lies. And if your commitment lies there, then we have to start changing what we're committed to, what we're trying to solve, and what we're practicing each day. And trusting that when we commit to that practice, this new process, this new goal that we're setting in our life, then we have to do things that align with that. And if we do that, results will follow. It's not this random thing that happens. It's not random that some people break out of the loop and some people don't. It comes back down to their practice and what they do in their lives. And it's absolutely something you can achieve for yourself. So wanted to just share that message today. And again, I know it's not always the most fun message to hear, but it's important because you have to really just check in with yourself and really ask yourself, what am I committed to? And if you're committed to something that's not in your long-term benefit, then we need to change that. And the good news is you can start changing today. So with that said, if you're looking for help, looking for resources, looking for guidance on OCD anxiety, and really taking your life back, head over to restoredminds.com or check out the links in the notes. As we have several resources for you, so restoredminds.com. And with that said, please help us out on this show by liking, subscribing, and leaving a review on iTunes or Spotify, as we greatly appreciate it, and it really helps the show. So with that, wishing you a great day, great week, and I look forward to seeing you on the next episode. Hey there. So if you enjoyed that video, we've linked up a few more videos that we think you'd find helpful as well. And if you have found this helpful, we'd really appreciate your support by liking and subscribing. And if you're looking for help and guidance, please check out restoredminds.com, as we have several options for you to get started. See you guys soon.